so the surgery was scheduled for that very day. When Hill heard the news, he was stunned. Today, Yvonne nodded. The Royal Medical Team has reviewed your condition. They believe you're ready. Then he gently reassured him. Don't be afraid. I'll stay with you the entire time. Hill slowly turned toward Xingwu. So this day came sooner than I expected. And across the room, Xingwu's eyes quietly hardened. Because before Hill could erase the mark, Xingwu had already decided to put his escape plan into motion. Before the operation, the doctor administered the anesthesia. Your Highness, the procedure should take around 5 or 6 hours. Just sleep for a while. You'll wake up when it's over. Hill slowly closed his eyes. But as he thought about waking up and no longer having Xingwu beside him, and everything will eventually end between them, a tear quietly slipped down his cheek. Outside the operating room, Yvonne remained on guard. Meanwhile, Xingwu was lying weakly on the floor. Hours passed. By nightfall, Xingwu slowly moved his neck and suddenly realized something. The effects of the anesthesia were completely gone. His eyes narrowed. Was this a mistake? Or a trap? Either way, he had no other choice. I have to survive first. Only then can I save anyone. Inside the operating room, the surgery was still underway. The surgeon accidentally bumped into Dr. Owen. Dr. Owen immediately apologized. I'm sorry. Is the second prince all right? The surgeon waved him off. I'm fine. Continue the operation. Go stand to the side and rest. We'll call you if we need you. At that moment, Xingwu quietly slipped through the window and landed on the tree outside. Everything was going far more smoothly than he'd expected. Did I overestimate the palace's security? All he had to do now was get over the wall and move across the rooftops while avoiding the guards. But as he landed, the chains around his ankle made a faint metallic sound. A guard immediately heard it. Who's there? Xingwu took off running. But guards were already approaching from the opposite direction. He was about to confront them head-on when a hand suddenly grabbed him from behind. Before Xingwu could react, the stranger pulled him into hiding. Xingwu stared at him in surprise. Someone is actually helping me. Who are you? The man kept his identity hidden. I'm on your side. He glanced toward the approaching guards. You've already been discovered. This escape attempt has failed. I'll cover for you. Pretend nothing happened and return to your room. Wait for another opportunity. Xingwu shook his head. I don't have time. You do. The man lowered his voice. The second prince's surgery failed. Xingwu froze. What? Meanwhile, Yvonne had discovered something deeply suspicious about the failed operation. The truth was finally beginning to surface. The surgery hadn't failed by accident. Someone had arranged it that way. As everyone rushed to investigate what had happened to Hill, Xingwu used the confusion to return to his room. He barely managed to restore the chains before soldiers arrived. Come with us. Xingwu was taken back to Hill's side. Apparently, Hill needed his alpha's presence again. Perhaps it was the bond created by the mark. Whatever the reason, when Xingwu saw Hill lying helplessly on the operating table, a strange feeling of pity surfaced in his heart. He hated that feeling, but he couldn't deny it. Outside the room, Yvonne slammed his fist against the wall. This is my fault. I shouldn't have rushed the surgery without considering the risks. Dr. Owen quickly reassured him. Your Highness, the surgery failed. But fortunately, His Highness isn't in danger. Once the wound heals, we can schedule another attempt. He noticed Yvonne's bleeding hand. Your hand is injured. Let me treat it. Forget it. The next morning, Hill slowly opened his eyes. The first thing he saw was Xingwu sitting beside him. Xingwu woke when he heard Hill move. Hill stared at him sleepily. Am I dreaming? No. Xingwu's voice was calm. You're in the infirmary. The surgery failed. Hill wasn't shocked. He simply sighed. So, I guess we'll have to stay together a little longer. But Xingwu didn't feel relieved. If anything, he felt strangely bitter. I'm gaining more time because he suffered. Soon, Yvonne hurried in. How are you feeling? My neck hurts a little. Yvonne lowered his eyes. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pushed you into the surgery so quickly. Hill shook his head. I said some foolish things to you too. I made everyone worry. I'm sorry. Dr. Owen looked at him with sympathy. He thought to himself that the second prince is indeed too gentle, which makes people feel even more uncomfortable. When he began changing Hill's dressing, he suddenly froze. Yvonne noticed immediately. What is it? Dr. Owen hesitated. Nothing. The wound isn't deep. He should be able to return to his palace tomorrow. But that evening, Dr. Owen secretly called Yvonne aside. Your Highness, I examined the surgical wound again this afternoon. Something doesn't feel right. What do you mean? I believe the surgery may have been deliberately sabotaged. Yvonne's expression changed. Dr. Owen continued. During the operation, I tried to step forward and assist, but your father's royal physician accidentally knocked me aside. I couldn't see the entire procedure, so I didn't think much of it at the time. But today, I examined the wound carefully. He lowered his voice. The surgical incision didn't even reach the area where the mark was located. Ivan's eyes widened. Your mentor is father's personal physician. He immediately understood. Are you saying? Ivan stormed straight to the emperor, but his father remained completely calm. Did you deliberately allow Hill to remain marked so he could give birth to a child who might inherit the celestial bloodline? The emperor slowly put down his pen. If you've already figured it out, shouldn't you understand why? Ivan couldn't believe it, but Hill was promised to the crown prince of the Kelly Empire. The emperor looked at him calmly. More than 10 days have passed since Hill was marked. Surely you understand that the Kelly Empire already knows. And yet they still haven't responded. Ivan's expression darkened. What does that mean? It means the situation has changed. The emperor leaned back. The Tatal War is over. We've already gained everything we wanted from it. We can compensate Kelly in other ways. Ivan clenched his fists. So, because Hill has been marked, you think he's no longer valuable as a political bride? His voice shook with anger. And now you're using him for something else. The emperor smiled. I'm merely allowing events to take their natural course. That prisoner is a direct descendant of Tatal's royal bloodline. His lineage is far purer than those collateral branches. He paused. If he survived when everyone else perished, why shouldn't we make use of that opportunity? Ivan's anger finally erupted. What do you think Hill is? He's your son. He's our family. The emperor's expression hardened. He is my son, and he is also a valuable asset to this nation. Everything I do is for the future of Aslania. Remember your position. Ivan stared at him. No matter how beautifully you justify it, you're still exploiting him. The emperor gave him a faint smile. Then tell me, who is responsible for Hill being marked? The moment he said that, Ivan was left speechless. The king then asked about the black-clad assassin who had appeared in the castle that night. Ivan finally came back to his senses and told him that they still hadn't caught the assassin. He suspected it was someone from the resistance. They had received information that the resistance was trying to make contact with the surviving members of Tatal. That is why I believe keeping that prisoner here is a huge potential threat. But the king clearly didn't see it that way. As long as we keep that prisoner under control and use him as bait, we'll have a chance to completely wipe out their hideout. This is both a crisis and an opportunity. Ivan couldn't help worrying. Do you really think things will go exactly as planned? Seeing his hesitation, the king once again began lecturing him. Aslania has remained standing all these years because we've always had the courage to seek victory even in dangerous situations. Looking at you now, how am I supposed to feel confident about handing this country over to you someday? He then told Ivan to pretend he knew nothing about this matter and simply continue being a good older brother to Hill. On the other side of an infirmary, Xingmu sat against the bed, and when he felt the slight movement behind him, Hill was playing with his hairs. He realized that Hill was having trouble sleeping again. Too many things had happened over the past few days. His failed surgery, the strange incident when Xingmu's anesthesia suddenly wore off. There were simply too many mysteries. Most likely, all of this was connected to that black-clad man. But for now, Xingmu still had no idea who he really was. Aslania's years of tyranny had created countless enemies. No matter which faction was behind this, they had probably already infiltrated the palace. For now, all Xingmu could do was make Aslania lower its guard around him and try to gather as many clues as possible about the mysterious assassin. Suddenly, fighting broke out outside. A moment later, someone smashed through the door. Xingmu immediately recognized the black-clad figure, but he was confused. Why is he attacking me too? Hill quickly called for help. The assassin suddenly turned around and thrust his sword toward Hill. Xingmu rushed over to stop him, grabbing the blade with his bare hand before striking the assassin away. The two of them immediately grappled on the floor, taking advantage of the chaos. Hill grabbed the vase and brought it down hard against the back of the assassin's head. The guards finally rushed inside. Your Highness, are you all right? Hill assured them that he was fine before immediately rushing toward Xingmu and helping him up. Are you all right? Your hand. Xingmu looked at his injury. The wound had already begun turning dark. That blade was poisoned. Before he could say anything else, Xingmu collapsed. Dr. Owen immediately rushed in and began treating his wound. Hill desperately pleaded with his brother. Please, you have to save him. He only got hurt because he was protecting me. Ivan tried to calm him down. Don't get worked up. Come on, I'll help you lie down over there and rest. Hill suddenly pushed him away and rushed back toward Xingmu. I don't want to leave my alpha. His brother quickly explained. I'm not asking you to leave this room. I just want you to rest for a while. But Hill refused to move. I don't want You all want to eliminate him. He only has me. Yvonne was completely helpless. Owen, do something. Get Hill to calm down. Owen quickly prepared an injection and administered it to Hill. Gradually, Hill began to calm down. Yvonne gently reassured him. Don't be afraid. We'll do everything we can to save him. After that, Yvonne allowed the two of them to remain in the same room. He then turned toward Dr. Owen. Why is Hill acting like this? Dr. Owen explained his mark hasn't been removed yet. Now that he's sensed his alpha being in mortal danger from such close range, his instincts have taken over. If that prisoner dies, His Highness may completely lose control because the bond is still active. The antidote they had just injected hadn't worked. Originally, they could have interrogated the assassin about the poison, but the moment he was captured, he took his own life. The poison was extremely potent. If we can't find the right antidote tonight, Dr. Owen said, the prisoner may really die. Although Yvonne disliked Shingmu, he couldn't risk losing him because of what it would do to Hill. For Hill's sake, do everything you can to save him. Hill eventually woke up and slowly made his way to Shingmu's bedside. Actually, I knew all along, he whispered. These past few days, you've only been treating me better because the situation forced you to. After all, there is deep-seated enmity between us. He looked at Shingmu, his voice filled with confusion. So, I don't understand. Why did you risk your life to save me? He paused. Do you want me to fall in love with you? So, you can use me afterward. Hill gave a bitter smile and softly kissed Shingmu. Don't be foolish. If you become like this, how are you supposed to get your revenge? And that brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment to let us know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the latest parts. I'll see you in the next one. Love you all.